Of a US bombing raid on pro-government forces in Syria on Thursday. Moscow called the strike a violation of an agreement on de-escalation zones in the country.
We're still looking into the details, but according to several reports, dozens of civilians died because of that airstrike. Whatever the reason for the decision by top US military officials to carry out the attack, it's not legitimate, it breaks the law, and it's a severe violation of Syrian sovereignty.
I made a commitment that they wouldn't happen again if our forces weren't threatened, and everybody understands what the rules are. So that's what's going to prevent it in the future.
Alexei Yaroshevsky brings us more details from Washington.
Well, the Pentagon's reactions seem to be very measured. They're almost trying to say that nothing major happened, but the rhetoric coming from Moscow is rather angry. And considering all the breakthroughs and all the advances that the two countries have managed to make over the Syrian issue as of late, according to Moscow, this jeopardizes the whole process greatly. And here is another statement by Foreign Minister Lavrov.
All this happens amid growing calls from Washington and several other Western capitals to cut all contact with Bashar Assad. All this is taking us far from a solution for Syria and from the main task, which is to prevent terrorists from capturing Syria and other parts of the Middle East. What we see with Washington's position with regard to Syria is an indulgence of terrorists.
So you heard there that the main task, according to the Russian foreign minister, is fighting terrorism. But nonetheless, the special presidential envoy to the international coalition fighting ISIS from the American side, obviously, Brett McGurk, had this to say about the Assad government.
Syria, of course, is far more difficult than Iraq. We don't have a government to work with, and we will never work with the Assad regime.
Well, one thing, of course, is Assad, and there's absolutely no surprise that the U.S. government would say something like that about the government in Syria. But there are a lot of questions, obviously,